All right, India, we are now standing in the hallway of the Anderson Hotel.
There were many deaths up here, natural, some suicides.
This place, from hearing all the stories and things that go on here from Jeff, is something I never expected we were gonna get ourselves into.
This is the first place we've ever been to where there's voodoo involved.
You have a little creature that zips around the hotel that's kind of the size of a small dog or a cat.
That is wild. It just drew a small little creature on Ghost Tube Seer, and that is what people are seeing here.
If there's anything you would like to tell us or a message you would like to get out,
I want you to go.
I want you to go.
It'll be very interesting to see what kind of night you all have.
I have got chills in my body right now. This is really creepy. Hello?
So right now we are sitting in the very haunted Anderson Hotel in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. It was actually constructed around 1933. There were buildings that sat on this area. Those burnt around 1922. The lot sat vacant for many years because of a legal dispute. And then around 1927 they built one-story buildings. And then in 1933, they got the bright idea to put a hotel on the second floor. And I've found documentation where in the 50s you could stay here for $2 a day, which would be the equivalent of a $30 hotel room. Around the late 60s, early 70s, they started to rent it out as a short to long-term apartment. You could stay here for $5 a day, $7 a day if you had a refrigerator in your room because they made you pay for extra power. That brought in a very diverse clientele. I've got documentation and proof that there were people that were fresh out of prison. Their family would get them a room here where they could get back on their feet. People out of mental asylums would come stay here. Elderly people on fixed incomes, prostitutes, people that were drug users, alcoholics. There were many deaths up here. Natural, some suicides, different things like that. So I run the local ghost tour here in Lawrenceburg called the Lawrenceburg Ghost Walk. I do it every year. I've been doing it for about 10 years now, from September to October, all the way through Halloween. And I was contacted by the current owners that own Heavens to Betsy downstairs, which is an amazing bakery and deli. And Betsy told me, you have to come see the hotel. And when I came up here, it was kind of like a time capsule. There was literally property left over from some of the former tenants. There were beds left over from when it was open. It was just full of junk. Why did people just leave their stuff here? And I found an old lease agreement, and the lease agreement actually said if you fail to pay your rent, they lock your door, they keep your stuff until your rent's paid. And there was many people that didn't ever come back for their stuff. So that's why there's so many objects up here. I started to investigate the building. They gave me a key, which I still have a key to this day. I have got it down to about 15 ghosts in the building that I've been able to encounter or document. And there's probably from the 60s to the late 80s about 13 deaths that I've been able to verify from managers and other people that have lived up here that they know for a fact that somebody met their demise. There was a period of time where I stopped working with the hotel, about 2017. They ran a haunted house attraction up here for a few years, then COVID hit, shut it down, and then some weird coincidence, I actually got back with the hotel this past fall, and I've been investigating up here ever since. And it's kind of strange because this hotel not only has a kind of place in my heart on the paranormal side, but it's how I met my wife. She was a volunteer at the haunted house, an actress at the haunted house, and once we met, we kind of stayed in touch, and then we started dating and got married, and there we go. So if it wouldn't have been for this hotel, I wouldn't have the family that I do now.
Tell us about the clown.
Yeah, bring the little fella over here. So this is yeah, you're fine. So this little fella is actually how I met my wife. She was working at the haunted house, and this was always in the room that she was associated with. And she would report that he would move when the lights would go off, and he would be in a different position, and she would feel her hair brushed, and she would feel things touch her legs. So she had some experiences up here that were I don't know that you would say unsettling because it didn't really scare her off, but it was just different. She hadn't really had that happen. Not much is known about the little guy. He is probably from the 70s. The way they acquired the clown was they actually bought him at an auction with a bunch of other clown relics, porcelain dolls, things like that, that they were going to use as props. And he was one of those. Now, he's the only item that I've been able to find that there is something attached to it. I usually don't allow people to touch him. You all can touch him if you want tonight. So this place kind of has layers, and I think the layers come into different eras in time that people may have died or whatever or left behind here. You've got what they like to call the Burning Man, which is on the other side of the hotel from where we are now. One of the prior managers talked about how her brother lived in the room, and he woke up one night and saw a man burnt from the waist up staring at him in his sleep. Well, of course, he moved out. I think the Burning Man entity is a lot older than this location. There were some buildings here before. One was a mortuary that burnt, and then they built other buildings, and then those burnt. So there's been 2 fires that have cleared this lot over history. You have what they like to call the legless man that people have seen in the building. They say it's literally a person kind of walking on their hands like they are amputated on both legs and they're using their hands to walk around. There is the lady in the black dress. My wife was one of the first people to see her during the haunted house phase, and they would actually see her walking down, and she was so solid they thought she was an actress in the haunted house. You have a little creature that zips around the hotel that's kind of the size of a small dog or a cat. It's been seen on both sides of the hotel. The first time I ever saw that, I was actually in the Burning Man's room. I saw it come around the corner. I actually thought it was a possum or a raccoon, and it was nothing. It just kind of diminished. Whenever Jackson and Betsy were buying the location from the previous owner, they asked him if anything had ever happened up here death-wise, and I kind of led them to ask that question. But he was very guarded about that history, and he talked about that there were 3 suicides. 2 men had hung themselves. Another lady had slit her wrist and bled out on a mattress. Now, there was a mattress when we first got up here that was laid out, comforter, everything on it, like somebody had slept in it. We pulled the comforter back. There was this huge stain. And we took luminol, which is the chemical that you use for criminal investigations that shows latent blood stains. And the big stain in the middle glowed blue. There was another small stain on the side. And before the mattress kind of got weathered, you could actually see where there was a void where an arm or something would have been outstretched, and then the blood ran off the side. So that's probably a 90% chance that the mattress that's still up here is that suicide mattress. So the haunted house had a room that was voodoo oriented. Well, what they didn't realize was the voodoo symbol that they drew on the wall was a very notable voodoo symbol that people used to start voodoo rituals. A lot of people ask the question, well, why didn't you just wash it off whenever they had left and no longer did the haunted house? And the doorway was already open. So no matter if I washed it off or whatever, it's still open. So I created the altar on the basis of the voodoo loa that it represents in order to kind of control the doorway. So that way if I appease, that they maybe will not let anything in that doesn't not need to be here. And that's kind of what happened. I'll talk to you a little bit about the attacks that we've had up here. We started to have human bite marks appear on people's skin. The first incident was another investigator. We were investigating one night. He had gotten home and he said, I have a bite mark on my foot. And I said, what do you mean, like a bug? He was like, no. He's like, it's a human bite mark on the top of my foot. So he sent me a picture. It's crazy the things that happen up here. I've recorded audio of somebody loudly throwing up. I've heard footsteps. One of the creepier times it was I was in the Burning Man room. It was almost dusk, and I started to hear footsteps come down the hall. The weird part about the footsteps was you heard a step, and then it drug its other foot behind it. It would take another step, and then would drag the other foot. And I was standing in the Burning Man room, and I was like, I'm not real sure what that is, but I'm not sure I want to see it. I mean, I've seen apparitions. I've seen several, probably over 10. This hotel is different. It has its way to flip at almost like you're flipping a coin. You know, it will be very quiet, and then all of a sudden it's just like turmoil. And it'll be very interesting to see what kind of night you all have.
All right, India. So we are now standing in the hallway of the Anderson Hotel. We just got done with our interview with Jeff, and I will tell you that we came to this location for one specific reason, and that is the video that BRAVIN sent us, the guy that we interviewed over at the Licking County Jail, of that CATBALL. This place, from hearing all the stories and things that go on here from Jeff, is something I never expected we were gonna get ourselves into. I'm actually kind of freaked out. I don't know what you're thinking here, but hearing about people getting scratched, seeing like a creature run across the floor, having that image that he said about that guy walking and dragging his other foot is absolutely freaky. What are your thoughts tonight for this investigation here?
Well, you seem to have not liked this place since we walked in the door. You've been complaining about it since we walked in the door, that you don't feel right and you feel freaked out. I think that the history here is very sad and very depressing, and when you see like the bloody mattresses, it's really just, I don't know. I think if anything, this place just feels depressing to me. There's a lot of scary stories that have been told to us. We came in here not really knowing anything about the place. So hopefully we get some good stuff tonight.
Yeah, this place is much bigger than I thought it was. And not only that, but having stuff in here that is like a trigger object that they say are haunted objects. You got that clown that's behind me in this hallway. You also have the items where people have committed suicide on in this building with us right now. And the blood stains are still in the mattresses. So let's start off by walking around and use Ghost Tube Seer, because I'm curious to see if these spirits here would draw any images that could correspond to something that happened here.
Yeah, I definitely am interested to see what Sia has to show us here, so let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, we're recording Ghost Tube Seer, let's go.
Should we go?
And I'm already getting an image. I haven't even took a step. I don't know what that is. Not really sure exactly what is that? Is that candles, India?
Yeah, candles.
Oh my God. You know what room has candles?
The voodoo altar.
The voodoo altar, and also the
Which
room.
is right there.
Let's go. Let's go
Right.
to voodoo.
Yeah, go through here.
All right, I'm gonna put Ghost Tube Seer down right here.
This is the first place we've ever been to where there's voodoo involved.
Legitimate voodoo symbols. I've never seen something like this on a location wall.
If there's anybody here, my name is India and this is Connor. We've just come to visit with you this evening, so if there's anything you would like to tell us or a message you would like to get out to somebody, or if you just want some company, that's what we're here for. So we're gonna try and communicate with you, and we would love it if you would come out and talk to us. Let us know who you are and what your story is.
I'm not gonna lie with it. It's kind of weird being in a room with a voodoo symbol in here where, you know, like he was telling us, it's basically like a gateway, I guess you want to call it, like a gatekeeper.
Yeah, so like this is how you get to, I can't remember the name, but the guy that is the gatekeeper to the other side. I don't know anything about voodoo, but let's keep walking.
Yeah. We've got that clown out there. We don't know too much about you, Mr. Clown, but we have a device that's right in front of you. Jeff's wife said that you move, and she has seen you move when the lights turn off. Can you draw us what you look like? Or tell us something, show us something? It's pretty quiet up here. We'll come back to you, but if you draw an image of a clown later, we'll know that you're the one trying to communicate with us, so just remember that. This is that suicide bed, India.
Yeah.
This is the bed that still has blood on it.
I think the thing that creeps me out most about this room is not the mattress, it's those Bible verses that are on the wall. Like, he said that they were found just in a closet, And he said that all of the verses have something to do with like despair or something like that.
I'm not really sure your name, and I'm really sorry for what happened to you. And if you were going through a really hard time. If you didn't hear us in the hallway, I'm Connor, and this is India that's standing next to the bed. We just want to know what you kind of look like. Can you draw us an image of what you look like or any of your best memories you've had in the living world? It's actually kind of gross thinking about it on the bed, actually. I'm going to take this off the bed.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Nasty.
That thing is... Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see it real well in the night vision.
No.
But it is covered. Oh, you can actually kind of see it, actually. It is covered.
Yeah, he said the big stain in the middle was like a big... It all lit up.
Yeah.
Positive. Let's keep going.
All right. If there is a spirit here that is biting people, can you show us on this device in my hand what you look like? We heard that there's a creature that runs around here.
I want to see him.
No, India. No.
He's cute.
No, we're not seeing that.
He said he's just a little guy.
Oh my God, stop.
Like a dog or a cat.
Stop. No. Swear to God, if I see something run across the floor, I hope you know I'm running.
This was the lobby at one point for the hotel.
And there's an image being drawn. It's actually an image of a bunch of graves.
Huh.
Interesting.
There was a mortuary here.
There was a mortuary here, you're right.
Yeah.
And it burnt down. That's interesting. That's one of the old signs here, one of the original signs for the Anderson Hotel. I feel like you go through this curtain to go the other side.
No, it's this way. Jesus!
Scared me.
What is that? It's a
It's a
step
chair.
ladder.
It's a step chair. Step ladder, I mean. It's a step chair. That's the first time you ran into in this episode. We heard that there's a burning man that has been seen here. Right by this doorway in this room that India's walking to. Can that spirit draw himself on this device I have in my hand? We're now in your room.
Can you show us what happened to you while you're burnt? That must be really painful. If you're still experiencing that, I can't imagine how that must feel to still feel the burn after all this time.
You have a message you want to show us?
It's not getting anything. I think we should keep going.
Okay. Okay, now we're coming up to one of the darker rooms. This room that we're about to walk into is where women get scratched. India, there's a candle that just came through here.
Another one?
Yeah, another candle, but this one has green. Green.
Do you need light? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Would it help you find us better if we had some light?
Or maybe they're trying to find the light, like people say in the paranormal. Do you hear someone singing?
That's downstairs.
I think they're closed downstairs. I think
They
it's
are
outside.
closed.
I think it's outside somewhere. You know, walking through this place is much different in the night. Actually, while I'm talking, India, I have an idea. We're gonna see if the clown likes to play with some balls. Hello, sir. You kind of freaked me out because I don't really know if I believe too much in haunted objects, but we're gonna see if you wanna. God, I don't know if I want to touch him. If you wanna hang out with us for a little bit. Jeff said you can hang out with us, so we're gonna go to a certain area. So right now, we have a hallway with Mr. Clown at the very end. We got a hallway full of CATBALLs, and in the Burning Man room, we've got a REM pod in there. So if the REM pod goes off, we should be able to hear it, and hopefully we capture that going off. But I've got a line of CATBALLs that go down the hallway. We brought a bunch of CATBALLs because we heard and saw the video of that CATBALL down the end of this hallway.
Also, I just want to point out, if you hear music, they'll play music downstairs. We are gonna just have to wait until the music is turned off before we go and explore down that end of the hotel. So if you hear music, that's what it is.
My name is Connor. This is India behind me. Mr. Clown down there at the very end of these CATBALLs I've got lined up that go all the way straight to you. If you are really possessing that object, or if you have anything to do with paranormal activity here in this Anderson Hotel, please light up one of those CATBALLs coming our way, or any of those motion sensors, or this device on the right side of India behind me that we call a REM pod. Could you let us know that you're here? We have seen a video of someone here taking one of those CATBALLs and throwing them off of what looks like a table of some sort in the room down at the end of this hallway. Can you move one of those balls right now and roll them this way? We heard there's a lot of things that have happened in these walls. Maybe you were here even before this was a hotel, when it was a mortuary. Even if you want us to leave, you could roll one of those this way. It's a freaking concert at the end of this hallway.
It's like screamo music now.
Right. It sounds like a dying cat down there. We've heard that there is footsteps of someone here that would take one step and drag the other foot and come down this hallway down here. If you're still here, can you come down this hallway right now and light one of those CATBALLs up? Maybe if you can move that clown. We heard that the clown likes to move. Maybe the clown itself isn't so much haunted, but you guys are the ones moving that object down there. So Indy and I moved to this room where this woman unfortunately spent the last moments of her life on this bed, where there are still blood stains. So we have set up some CATBALLs along this bed, and we kept getting images in the very start of our investigation. They kept showing candles. So there are candles that can light up over there on the edge that India has turned on. And also in the hallway, I've set up some CATBALLs, one in the doorway, one right there, and then we've got a REM pod. So hopefully this spirit that unfortunately ended her life in this room can hopefully communicate with us. I'm also going to run Ghost Tube. So we are now running Ghost Tube. We are calling out to the spirits of the Anderson Hotel. My name is Connor, and across from me is India. We have come in this room because of the very start of our investigation. We were running a device called Ghost Tube Seer, and you were showing...
I can't speak.
I can't speak.
I can't speak.
I was gonna say, I don't think that's what we should talk about while we're in here. I mean, this woman was obviously in a lot of pain, and so I think that just explaining the devices and things isn't gonna work. So I think we should try and talk to her about if there's, I know you just said you can't speak. If that was you, can you give us a reason why? I think we should just try and talk about whatever it is that she needs to talk about.
We have come in this room because there are candles that kept resembling in here. And when we did a walkthrough with Jeff, these candles over here reminding me of some of the images that we were getting on the ghost tube seer. Showed candles twice. So maybe this spirit just wants someone to talk to, like India's just said.
What's stopping you from speaking? Because you just managed to say something.
I want you to go.
I want you to go.
Okay. If you want to be left in peace, then we'll do that. I think we should leave. I don't want to stay in here if she doesn't want us to be in here.
Well, here's the thing though. Jeff did mention though that whatever the activity happens doesn't really happen in this room, but more so out in that hallway, right? So like if we just literally sat up in this room, we should probably try to get a double confirmation that we should leave.
Well,
One of the cat balls light up, we'll leave the room or the REM pod.
but I really just think that we should respect what she has to say and that we should go.
If we even know what she's, if we know it's her. All right, I guess we'll re-unpack again and move on to the next area.
Do you want both of us to leave or just one?
If you light up the cat balls that we've got over here in this bed or in the hallway or that device with the red light and the antenna, or say another word in here again about leaving, we will respectfully leave this room. We just want to...
The ball's lighting up.
The
We
cat
need to
ball's
go.
lighting up. All right, we're leaving this room
We're
now.
going.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you for doing that. We just left the room out of respect for the spirit, basically wanting double confirmation. I wanted to know that for sure that it was the spirit that was in that room that wanted us to leave. So I asked if the cat balls, the REM pod, or even another word of leaving would go off, and almost immediately the cat ball in the hallway went off. So that's confirmation for us out of respect for that spirit. We're going to leave that room and stay out of that room for a while. So we are still running ghost tube. We might as well do a little sweep and just see if we can get anything relevant come through and get any spirits to talk to us. Is there any other spirits who would like to communicate with us?
Not going to hit the step ladder this time because I know it's there.
Can you tell us what entity here is doing the biting to people?
Joshua.
Joshua. That was a quick answer.
That was immediate. Joshua.
Did you live here or were you just a guest at the hotel? Why is Joshua biting people?
I appreciate you answering us right away, Joshua. Or if you are Joshua, you're just telling us that Joshua's the one that's biting people. Where are you? Are you down this hallway with us?
You want to try an Estus method?
Yeah, let's try an Estus session, India. 'Cause I don't feel like they're wanting to play with the cat balls or anything like that, or even...
I think maybe we should do it in the hallway over on that side.
You know, the only thing that we got right now is just leaving that one room with the cat ball going off right now. So let's try to do an Estus session.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's grab our stuff. Okay, so right now we are doing the Estus session, and India is right behind me. We're in this hallway. She is wearing noise-canceling headphones, and she's listening to the spirit box. So basically, if she hears anything come through her ears through the white noise, she's going to say it out loud, and I'm going to be asking the questions. She doesn't know this, but I'm going to set this clown right next to her, and hopefully if it is something haunted or has anything attached to it, it will go through India and communicate with me. My name is Connor, and that's India down at the end of this hallway. We're here to communicate with you. How many spirits are here at the Anderson Hotel? There's a little clown guy right next to India. Can you tell me the name of that spirit?
Stand back.
Okay. I'm a little further back. Is this good enough? Who told me to stand back? Did the clown tell me to stand back? Is there a spirit named Joshua here? Who's doing all the biting here? What is the name of the lady who passed away on the bed in the room we were just at a little bit ago?
Rat.
What about a rat? We're here to respect your boundaries.
There's always blood on
There's always blood on what?
floor.
On the floor? Oh, I hope that's not blood that I'm standing on. Are you talking about that one room? Can you tell India something? You can give her a
Blood.
There's some mattresses here that have blood still. Is that what you're talking about?
Hey boy. That was like a really southern accent. It went, hey boy.
Hello? Who's calling me out? You got something you want to tell me? I got Ghost Tube Seer running right now while we're doing the Estus session. I want to know what you mean. Show me what you mean about blood. You can even draw me what you look like.
The floor.
You talking about the blood? Are you saying there's blood on the floor? Or are you talking about because I'm sitting on the floor? If the clown next to India is talking to me, I told you earlier, if you can draw a clown image for me here, then I'll know you're talking to me. Do you like it that we're here? There's some elderly folks that were up here. We've also heard that there's like a creature that is seen here the size of a small dog or cat. Can you draw it for me? Oh my God. Oh my God. It did draw something. It drew something small, like a small little animal. It looks like a small little rabbit of some sort or something. It drew like a little creature in the woods. Right there. Is this creature that's been seen here? Is that what you're drawing?
Here to help.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for drawing that. That is wild. It just drew a small little creature on Ghost Tube Seer. And that is what people are seeing here. Can you show me what one of the spirits here looked like? Oh, whoa, there was a loud noise just happened there. These microphones and these cameras suck, but I just heard something really loud in there. Like a rock. Hello? Did someone just throw something? God. Yeah, that's really creepy. Is that you? Are you showing me what you look like? I've got chills in my body right now. This is really creepy. Hello? Somebody back there? Can you make another noise? Oh my God, I just got literally another noise back there.
Where's he gone?
I'm right here. Is that you I'm hearing back there? Who's back there? I appreciate making a noise. Are you throwing something back there? Hello? Who's back here?
You're looking at him.
Did you stay back there?
What's the matter?
I mean, I'm a little freaked out. I mean, I came here to try to communicate.
You seem...
What do I seem?
sweaty.
I'm not sweaty. If you're saying I'm a little freaked out, I mean, yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's time to conclude our investigation here at the Anderson Hotel. It's been an interesting night, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We have so many more adventures coming up this year, and you don't want to miss where we go next. If you saw or heard anything that we might have missed in the video, make sure to comment down below. And we'd love to hear your theories on the seer images we capture. There's so many different interpretations of those, and a lot of the time we find that people have some brilliant ideas that we never even thought of. So make sure to leave us a comment, hit the like button. We're gonna pack up now and get on the road, and we will see you in the next episode of Paranormal Encounters.